Again, this is Canton's First Friday Poetry Spectacular, August 2011, live from Citizen X in Canton, Ohio. Tonight's featured performer, put your hands together for Bill.
You have the right to remain silent. Speak now or forever hold your peace of mind, and in time, piece together the fragments of tomorrow. Sorrow in the name of a game that passes you by as you lay lifeless. For your lie of a life is less appealing when you're feeling oppressed, stressed, because freedom itself has been held captive. After all, it's 80 degrees outside, but your video game is interactive? Come on. Do you really know peace? Do you really know revolution? Do you really know war? Or are we all just democracy's whore? Armed men in helmets in the hood, all for the better good. Freedom rings, but malice is tone deaf. Revelations reveals revolting realism, but is it destiny or self-fulfilling prophecy? Possibly. Realize, forever in your eyes ends when you blink. Just think. Could you have ever imagined that you would suffer racism at the hands of someone else black? Could you have ever imagined how low you would sink in the name of payback? There's rape, sodomy, child molestation. Now, this is what really hurts. According to the news, that's just in the Catholic Church. Road rage, upper middle class children crying out for help wash crimson tears from their hands with no remorse. Of course, question is this all new, or is it true that the good old days are more old than good, and the only difference is a flat screen TV with high def and DVD, which has the ability to subdue our subconscious, subsequently sending messages into the atmosphere until we forget our fears exist for a reason. The thin line between fear and instinct has been crossed, and at what cost? Does anyone remember imagination, conversation, books, 15-minute long songs with hooks? Oh, it all sounds so simple, but you see, it's the simple things that we seem to so easily surrender. Does anybody remember taking a long walk at night, or just being polite, or for that matter, a good old-fashioned fight? I'd hate to think that the downfall of this society is based upon the things that it's meant to make life better, but let me ask you this. How long has it been since you've written a letter? It's simple psychology. To me, it's all the same. A society less tame. Technology is to blame? I blame you. I blame me. Being rude or having a bad attitude is made easy, but believe me, the final decision is yours, because when you're in a crowd like this, no one should have to tell you to turn off your cell phone. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Bill. This is my first time on the stage. I'm very happy. What should I do now? Something fun. Here we go. So, there is, okay, I think there's a debate going on now about whether or not you should mess with any kind of text or change it or alter it, and I think not, because you go back on things and you look at things and it reminds you of what was, or where you were, or where we were in society in general. I don't know. And I feel that way about your own personal poetry as well. You shouldn't go back and change it. And beyond all that, life changes, and your reason for that poem changes. So my reason for this poem, it was inspired by the 3 great loves of my life and why I wasn't ready for it. And then it moved on to mean something else. So the something else, my daughter at the time, born at 1 pound 7 ounces, something like that. She's finally home. I'm trying to put her to sleep. She will not go to sleep. Can't think of anything to put her to sleep. I believe I may have been on the phone with Carla at the time. And so, as she's crying, that already been changed, already been fed, already been bathed cry of, And there's nothing I can do. I say, I knew from the start not to let you have my heart. Yeah, you don't love me like you used to. First you made me love you, then you tore my world apart. You don't love me like you said you do. You don't love me like you used to. You don't love me like you used to. You don't love me like you said you do. You don't love me like you said you do. I could see it in your eyes 'cause you left a trail of lies. You don't love me like you used to. The perfect love was just an act. Guess who played fool? Although I'm hip to all your lies, I just can't stand losing you when you don't love me like you used to. You don't love me like you used to, and you don't love me like you said you do. You don't love me like you said you do. Oh, I've given it thought. I've given it time. I've seen it in visual mindscapes, even written it in rhymes where every time is the last time. Every find is one of a kind. Every one-sided argument ends with the same beginning. Why argue a point not worth winning if winning is not the goal and love is not the objective? Why objectify a lie with the truth? Mix in emotions and the truth becomes a lie again, and though I know we could never just be friends, I'll fake it for you. I've observed it from obtuse angles with obscene themes of forbidden dreams, but you already know I like to watch. Faceless, still ticking, taunting, tortured to a lovesick slave, caught up in the moment, waiting for the next find, next one of a kind. Yes, this poem is about you. Maybe it's about me. It's about us. You see, maybe for me, what if is better than what now. We could have made it happen is better than how. However, how can I forget when the past plays a pessimistic perspective of perfection? Sorry. You know, a fairy tale ending is merely the beginning of another chapter, so I take my stoic stance of sweet romance until good times and good wine is no longer enough, and she calls my bluff, and I answer with a smile and denial, all the while knowing you don't love me like you used to. You don't love me like you used to, and you don't love me like you say you do. You don't love me like you said you do. Oh, thank you. And with that, she went straight to sleep, and it worked every time since then. Go figure. What if? What if when it's over, no heaven or hell, no Satan or Jehovah? What if two wrongs make a right and the truth is void of any light and the darkness will show you the, excuse me, I'm gonna start that over. What if when it's over, no heaven or hell, no Satan or Jehovah? What if two wrongs make a right and the truth is void of any light and the pathway to ignorance is, I'm messing that piece up, I'm sorry. I've never messed up that piece. But because I want you to experience it, I'm just gonna go off page. What if when it's over, no heaven or hell, no Satan or Jehovah? What if two wrongs make a right and the truth is void of any light and the darkness will show you the way to ignorance where the bliss is amiss and the lie shall set you free and freedom is only a state of mind, the fate of time overshadowed by fear of death? What if? What if perception is formality and reality is fiction perceived as realism through the eyes of a realist with rose-colored shades? What if the men responsible for terrorist attacks rest in peace and await our arrival rivals, only of the flesh, together in this mess until never or forever, whichever keeps you sane claims our names? What if without race, money, religion, education, cars, we're all the same? Just energy created by time, or the figment of a sleeping mind. On a grand scheme, a big dream, the nightmare of a restless slumber. What was my point? And what is the point if I point it out only to be lost in the abyss of your aggravation, coffee, or conversation, or whatever you might be drinking? What was I thinking? What if? What if, when it's over, no heaven or hell, no Satan or Jehovah? What if two wrongs make a right, and the truth is void of any light, and the darkness will show you the pathway to ignorance where the bliss is amiss, and a lie shall set you free, and freedom is only a state of mind, the fate of time, overshadowed by fear of death. What if? What if I'm wrong? Thank you. Okay, I might as well just keep on going off page now. These are ones I don't have memorized. It's hot. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised until Fox 19 interviews a fiend on the scene who's seen everything. Another candlelight vigil held for a teen killed by what seems to be our own worst enemy. Another teen who doesn't dream with skin like me, no longer held captive by slavery. A nigger in his own mind, a victim of his own crime, living on borrowed time. From Action News, back to you. The revolution will not be televised. However, people find times to jam up phone lines to vote for the next American Idol or Dancing with the Stars, while leaving political elections to Tea Party extremist strategies aimed at taking us back to 1960, stuck in 1984, most ignored, too caught up in Jersey Shore, confirming 1,000 dead-end friends. Just Google your favorite revolutionary. What's scary is then words are left up to interpretation. We should worry less about masturbation and more about people coming to conclusions based on illusions and images we're bombarded with daily. Blue glow cascading faces, cascading upon faces, facing mental extinction, paying for minutes, moments pass us by, deceived by our devices, never taking the time to look up from them to realize the revolution has been televised. How many more do I have time for? Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. This is a love piece. This is a very realistic love piece. I think you'll feel me. I don't know why I named it Vanessa. It's named Vanessa. She was fine. Y'all don't hear me. She was fine. 5'8" or 5'9". Either I'm tripping or maybe it's the wine. I mean, she was fine. She made Halle Berry look like Biz Mark, and with a glance and a dance, she had stolen my heart. So I whisked her from the dance floor with grace and offered her my seat. She was well put together in leather and pedicured feet. Her scent was so sweet. She had flawless skin. Her body was perfect. Not too thick, but not too thin. So, what's up? It's the end. Can I see you again? And like that, it seems my rap had its effect. She leaned in and gently kissed my neck. From that point, the conversation went in a completely different direction. The apple of my eye became the object of my affection. Either this is a dream or my lucky night. She got me believing in love at first sight. From the club to the hotel, I gave in to her caress. We hit the door, then hit the floor, already half undressed. We kissed, and I melted into her as if we were one. In my altered state of awareness, I was so carefree and careless as moonlight poured through the window and cascaded down the side of her face. This became an image I would never erase. At dawn, she was gone. she had left without a trace. Written on the mirror above the dresser on the wall was a message in cyber mac lipstick and sealed with a kiss. I'm glad I made you happy. I'm glad you got your wish. I am with you always until death do us part. I gave you all of me without giving you my heart. For you, a token to take with you for the rest of your days. Welcome to my world, the wonderful world of AIDS. So that is really, that piece has been sitting around in my head for a while, and then it was AIDS Awareness Week one week, and I was trying to come up with something. That is a story that my cousin told me. They told him when he went to Morehouse in 1986. And it's been in my head for the longest, and that's why it came out in kind of that style. It's that kind of sing-songy, rhymey style. It's probably, I wrote it as if it were 1986, but that's the origin of that piece, and that's how it came into existence. How's everybody doing tonight? It is hot. Okay, let's see if I can get some backup vocals. See how many old school soul people we got out there. Oh, it's too hot. I got no backup. Oh, it's too hot. Right, you got me. Okay, that's where you get Cool in the Gang. Oh, it's too hot, too hot, too hot, lady, too hot. Okay. I didn't ask for good singing. I just asked for singing. I did that once. I like people. I like people a lot. I was in an elevator, packed elevator full of people. Everybody looked miserable, and I just started. I said, "Oh, it's too hot." Everybody in the elevator, too hot. Turns out we had two ladies in the elevator that were singers, and they took the song and ran with it. Before you know it, everybody's in the elevator group. It's just fun. I like that kind of stuff. Okay. This is a poem about, you know how you want to write, and you want to dance, and you want to paint, and you want to do what makes you happy, and heck, for that matter, you like to make money at it. And I'll be happy and honest and say I don't need enough money to, get a Bentley or a huge house. And for those of you who are familiar with Cleveland Shaker or anything like that, I'd be happy to make enough money doing what I do to maintain what I got now. I'm good, but however, you get caught up in the day-to-day and stuff like that, and sometimes you forget, and you got to remind yourself. So this is kind of my reminder. This is kind of during one of those moments where I was kind of having a little writer's block, maybe. Angels with broken wings sing songs of despair. The descent from heaven consumes rhythms lost in the calm of AM dreams, snooze buttons and third shift routines. Seems hell is a place fit for angels who can't fly. Angels who can't fly. Angels who can't fly walk on earth among the living, giving even when there's nothing left to give. When one's reception is perception, regression is a lesson unlearned. Burned by hindsight is blurry. Hurry up and go no place quickly, quietly giving in without a fight, disappearing into the night. The angels deny destiny, define fate, destroy fear. The angels fear fate has defined destiny, destination, denial, where giving is living, but the inspiration to give is gone. Eternity and hell is heaven compared to facing the light of dawn. Angels with broken wings sing songs of despair. The descent from heaven consumes rhythms lost in the calm of AM dreams. Snooze buttons and third shift routines. Seems hell is a place fit for angels who can't fly. Angels who can't fly. Angels who can't fly. Thank you. Okay. Suppose I'll give you a couple more. One is really short, but I like it a lot. This is a more personal piece and very old, as you can see. Like I said, pretty short, but I like it a lot. I'm trying to give you the more personal stuff. I wrote a blue letter in red ink, a love song inspired by hate. I stared blindly into the face of a faceless demon sent by God to remind me to forget. Then I remembered. I was on time, a day late. I don't want to go, but can't wait to get there. I've yet to ask for forgiveness for my sins. I've prayed for forgiveness for sins I've yet to commit. I've yet to commit. I've yet to commit to an unfaithful fear that I'll fail faithfully but forget to try, so I win by default. So I lose. I listen with deaf ears, danced to muted melodies, gave in with nothing to give. Muted words I heard but didn't listen. I was blinded by the light and followed a dark path to the truth. This unknown silence is louder than a noisy reality. Thank you. Okay, and unless I'm told otherwise, maybe this is my last piece. I don't know. Okay, then this is not my last piece. Oh, word. 10 more minutes of me. It's like kind of like my love life. Oh wait, no, that's 2 more minutes of me. Oh, boom, boom, tss. That's just a joke. For those of you who were considering taking me home. Don't laugh, you too. I'll take whatever I can get. Again, I'll go on the personal side. It's not really fun as requested by Carla, but these are the pieces I never really get to do. It's called Sometimes It Rains in December, or I Cry in Black Ink. I listen to sad songs when I'm happy, and happy songs when I'm sad. Maybe that's the reason I love house music all night long. I stare into the abyss for fear of what I might miss. If my aim is off and the target is in constant motion, the mere notion of what would happen if I hit the center, then I remember to forget. Too caught up in regret and end up lost in my own concept conceived from contaminated thoughts of lost love found in fictional fantasies. Unreal truths of realistic lies. Sometimes I get pleasure from pain, and pleasure is a painful reminder that this will all come to an end, leaving me to wonder, what then? And now I know what I thought may not be so. I walk the thin line between fate and time. First steps and unexpected goodbyes. I wonder why's end in thoughts, and thoughts only create more questions, and the answer starts the cycle all over again. And since there is no wrong question or right answer, or vice versa, vices and verses take me back to the beginning, which I guess makes the cycle never ending. The end, I think. Thank you. I know what I'll do. Okay, this is a piece that I never had intentions of reading anywhere. So I went into the archives of some of my old pieces, and for a moment, my younger sister, Wavery, who I know we are streaming live, but I hope never sees this, there was some, I don't know, we're siblings, so there was a little bit of tension between us, for a moment, as she was growing into her own. And I guess part of the problem is I had my own view of what I think her future looked like, maybe. She's very artistic, has a great ear, could play any instrument. So I always thought if there was a Wavery, there would not have been a Beyonce. Now, she's doing quite well for herself, good job, 2 kids, husband, nice house in Cleveland Heights, But at the time, that wasn't my view for her, so there was a little bit of tension. And at that time, so many years ago, when we were going through that tension, I wrote this for her, not to give it to her, but to give it to her through the universe and get it off of me, so as to improve our relationship, and it kind of worked. Submission to my intention is not my condition. The direction of my affection is misplaced. Though it's written all over my face, my comments are laced with forbidden themes. Thus it seems dreams go unseen, if you know what I mean. I don't want to harp on it, but if I sing your praises, which gets lost in verbal mazes, so I search for a way to say this as a friend. So again, I turn to my pen. Tomorrow is an eternity away. Today is upon you. Yesterday is gone, and dawn brings to light new possibilities only hidden by the shadows of the soul. Lose yourself without losing control, then lose control without losing sight of yourself. It's liberating, celebrating the question of you, answered through introspection, the reflection of an image. I've put you on a pedestal. So despite the verbal treason, it's all for a reason. Maybe I'll work on my timing or refining my silver lining until then, with love, your friend. Title, Wave. Because my sister's name is Wavery and we call her Wave, and so I named it Title, Wave. Okay. I've come to the conclusion that no conclusion is cool, and I've concluded that beyond jealousy, blame. Hey, how come I can't remember this piece, Carla? Maybe that's it. I can't remember anything. Maybe that's it. Oh no, it's hot and there's no vodka. That's. If there is any vendor on the street or a bar up the street, someone want to run and get a Kettle One, lie and get what you do. Get a soda, get a vodka, pour the vodka in the soda cup, pour the soda out, because I don't do my vodka with chaser. Okay. What? For those of you who didn't hear this, she said, didn't you go to high school? Right. Fortunately, I started later than high school. Okay. I've come to the conclusion that no conclusion is cool, and I've concluded that beyond jealousy, blame, anger, pain, you and what's his name? Good intentions and bad vibes, my love. My love. My love is not exclusive to us, not conducive, thus conclusive is the end. Maybe, baby, someday a friend, but until then, I've come to the conclusion that no conclusion is cool. And I know you don't get it, but every time I drop a line or dial the first 5 digits, click, I hate to admit it, hurts like a contusion. So I've come to the conclusion that no conclusion is cool. No last time's kisses, final disses, misses, I wondered why's, extended lies, and no one plays the fool. So I hate to do this, but I've come to the conclusion that no conclusion is cool. Wait a minute, baby, maybe I'm crazy, but you already got a man? You and I, no longer why? Jazz, like fusion. So on a blue note, I've come to this conclusion. Goodbye. Thank you. Okay, this is my last piece. This is one of my favorite pieces to do. I wasn't going to do the piece, but I was reminded of the piece when you came up a little earlier, and one of my favorite sounds in the world, and I'm not calling you voluptuous, but one of my favorite sounds in the world is the sound of a voluptuous lady with bare feet upon a wood floor. Honestly, that just the clump, clump, clump. I'm okay. Did it just get hotter in here? Okay. Okay. And so, for the those of us who enjoy there are specific measurements. I'm looking at size 16, 18, size 22. I'm not talking about the Lane Bryant voluptuous, because Lane Bryant voluptuous, they're voluptuous. They're like what, size 8, and considered voluptuous. The Lane Bryant models, yeah. Lane Bryant models could not wear Lane Bryant clothes. I'm talking about the voluptuous lady that got some curves and got some little bit of A little bit of so what you get stretch marks, maybe, a couple rows or what. A stretch marks gives you texture. I like texture. Okay. Oh darn, because I was just gonna say I'm good with it. Okay. I got a piece about that too. And it goes. I gotta get my R&B. Voluptuous lady. This is my serious R&B face. Oh, are you laughing at that? Okay. R&B face, for those of you don't know, you don't watch R&B videos, especially from the 90s. Always got to bite the bottom lip. If there were a breeze in here, I would open up my shirt for you. Voluptuous lady, you are so fine. Voluptuous lady, I wish you were mine. I love the way you move. You really turned me on. Voluptuous lady. The Nestle Quick Bunny lost his claim to fame. Now he loses control when he hears your name. So rich and thick, you got to drink it slow. Victoria ain't no secret. It was on the evening news, and even that was all a lie. I tried to get you something from there for Sweetest Day, but it only fit one thigh. Open up the pages of any fashion magazine, be displaying models that look like addicts, mere crack fiends. You are the woman that I see in my dream. They call you thick, Rubenesque, voluptuous, or big boned. Say, if you ain't busy tonight, can I call you on the phone? Hello? Hey, this is Bill. What do you like? Because it seems I can't remember. We can go to the movies or the park. Oh, no, I know. I'll take you out to dinner. Roll call, Missy Elliott, Thea, Jill Scott, and my baby mama, just to name a few. Do not be offended if I call you too. Listen to the words that are coming from my mouth. You turn capri pants into a work of art. I love the way you make a long skirt sway. I don't give a damn about your man. Tell that nigga I'm gay. Did you take a class to learn how to shake that ass? Because if so, I'm signing up for 101. Voluptuous lady, don't be offended. I'm just having some fun. Voluptuous lady. Come on, everybody. You are so fine. Voluptuous lady. I wish you were mine. I love the way you move. You really turn me on, voluptuous lady. Dramatic pause. Voluptuous lady, you are so fine. Voluptuous lady, I wish you were mine. I love the way you move. You really turn me on. Voluptuous lady.
Another round of applause for Bill. Okay, now we come to the poetry slam, and okay. Hey, outside, we need some judges for a poetry slam. Anybody interested? Hey, Bill, will you be a judge? Excellent. I don't know you. Will you judge? I don't know you either. Sure. Okay, we got two judges. We need one more judge. Yay, okay. All right. Morris. Hello, Morris. I'm Vertigo. Most people kind of know that. Oh, well. I'm just always in people's face with the poetry flyers, which I actually didn't print any for today. That's weird. Sarah, yay. Okay, we now have 3 judges. This is a poetry slam. I'm not even going to go into all the speech that every other slam goes into. It was started by a guy named Mark Smith. Hey, one person knew to yell, so what? Okay. It's competition. We use a 10-point scale here. Half the points are for the poem itself. The other half of the points are for your performance of the piece. You must perform an original piece. No OPP during this poetry slam. That's other people's poetry. What are you thinking? Dirty, dirty minds. There is a 3-minute limit. We do not use a grace period here. If you go over 3 minutes, anywhere from 1 second to 15 seconds, you lose half a point from your total score. You go 16 seconds to 30 seconds, you lose a full point, and so on and so forth. No props, no throwing your hat at the audience, no, bringing your not a cane. What do they call the thing that they use when you're doing a dance number? Lightsaber. Yes, you can't come up here and show off your lightsaber skills. No props. Dun, dun, dun. So usually I have a thing in the corner that I can read. It. I've been so back trying to get caught up on stuff right now that I'm just keep falling further behind. No props, 3 minutes, original material. Oh yeah, and we do something a little different here than a lot of other poetry slams. It must be a spoken word performance. No more than 10% of the piece may be harmonized. So yeah, you're competing with poetry, not song and dance. So, yep, that's it. Okay. Judges got it. I don't have the board, so we're just going to yell out the scores. Okay. Tonight's first competitor. Put your hands together for Bridget Brockway.
Y'all, I am a slam virgin. This is the first time I have ever slammed, and I'm a tiny bit terrified. This is called I'm Rocking You to Sleep, and it's dedicated to my friend Ebony. The minister says we don't got to worry about her immortal soul, even though she didn't have the intellectual capacity to accept Jesus Christ as her personal Lord and Savior. We knew that if she could have, she would have. That's a load off. Knowing after Jesus, our Lord, gave her a body so broken that her 25 years were one long nightmare of pain and indignity, broken only by the eclipses of joy she strained to give. After that, her personal Lord and Savior don't plan to dump her in a hell worse than she already had, just because the mouth he gave her was too broken to sing his praises, too clumsy to pucker long enough to kiss his ass. Her obituary says she is survived by a father, 5 sisters, a brother, aunties, uncles, and in all the years I known her, I never met one. Never knew she had 'em. The staff at her group home are the only family I ever met. Her obituary says that she doesn't say that she was the most beautiful soul that ever lighted up this world. Doesn't say that she loved Billy Joel or bubble baths, or that she whistled when she was cold, or that she hugged and loved so relentlessly that you couldn't escape back into despair as long as she was near. It doesn't say she loved slapstick comedy and dancing in her wheelchair and birthday cakes no matter whose birthday it was, and hugs. It only acknowledges the family who now kiss the cross with saltwater lips that never touched hers. that sing Christ's praises with voices that never sang her lullabies, that raise the hands in prayer, same hands that never held hers. I wish I believed in heaven so I could know she was there, but I wish I believed in hell so I'd know that's where the rest of them were going.
Something else I should have mentioned, and even though you didn't run over on time, the clock starts the first word you say once you're up here. So if you pause to introduce the piece before you perform it, the clock is running. So if it's a longer piece, be aware. All right. Bill. 8.5. Sarah? 8.5. Morris. My brain was saying Maurice. That's not right. Morris. And 8. Let's get another round of applause for Bridget. It's the poetry, not the points. Oh, we all know that's BS. You're up here to compete because you know there's prize money provided by Arts and Stark. All right, our next competitor, ladies and gentlemen, Skylark.
I think Bill might have a heart attack if I said that I also belly dance. This piece is called Two Letters. And so we're moving from the bisexual wall of fame to the bilingual wall of shame. And as I move from a reporter to a poet, I still love my accuracy. So you'll see that reflected here. Shake it off. Shake it off. That's what teammates tell each other so they can move past a mistake on the courts or the field. Shake it off. It's also what bilingual people tell each other because inevitably we will say the wrong word or explain something in a way that makes absolutely no sense culturally. So I knew from experience that I would probably not interpret perfectly during a parent-teacher conference. The school brought me in. I guess the Spanish teacher was on vacation. I introduced the mother, a polite Mexican woman with 3 children, to the classroom teacher and the school counselor. They planned ways to help her 3rd grader, and everyone seemed happy. And I thought it was smooth sailing. It wasn't until that afternoon that I realized I had a reason to be embarrassed. I was chilling with a Spanish-speaking friend, and she used the word consolador, which I had used earlier to mean school counselor. But my friend used it very differently, and I realized I should have said consejador. It's the difference of just 2 letters, I thought, feeling the blood drain from my face at this realization and my hands starting to sweat, gasping at what the mother must have thought of me. I paced this way and that in my friend's living room, knowing I had crossed a huge cultural taboo. Explaining it in English is kind of funny, but Latin American cultures tend to be much more shy about speaking these things out loud. Consolador doesn't mean school counselor, it means vibrator. And I had told this woman that the man across the table from her was a sex toy who wanted to help her 8-year-old daughter. Shake it off, Skylark, shake it off.
I took 1 year of Spanish class in high school. We had this kid. Okay, the teacher kept a record of the class that had the most detentions. It was like 200 and something. My class broke that record in October. We had this one kid who wanted to be the one who broke the record, and then when we in April when we got to number 1,000, he wanted to make sure it was him, so he just stood up in the middle of class and started saying shit. The kid got at least like one detention every day. There was one detention that he protested adamantly. On a test, he wrote an answer and got it wrong and didn't know that what he wrote was a Spanish cuss word. And the teacher would not believe him that he did not intend to do that. All right. Okay, enough babbling from me. Judges. Bill. 7.5. Sarah? 7. Morris. I wrote it down. 8. All right, another round of applause for Skylark. Our next competitor, Steve Brightman.
This poem's titled, "The Suit Will Have to Wait." A woman once told me a man in a suit is always hot, and she's a trustworthy sort, so I took her at her cautious word. A suit to me, though, seems like meeting halfway, and being ready is not the same as being eager. Tonight, like every night, could be the night. I want to believe that it'll happen at night. I don't want to battle the sun. I don't want to draw my last breath sweating or squinting. And if tonight is the night, I'm ready. I've brushed my teeth and I'm neatly groomed. I have showered and am forgiving trespasses against me. Thank you.
All right, judges. 8. 8. And a 7.5. Let's get another round of applause for Steve. Oh, okay, he is in here. Our next competitor of the evening, Jacob King.
Yeah, I was on baby duty for a while there, sorry. Okay, this piece is called They Hide. Tight, tiny bodies with sharp points jutting out from sunken-in hips and stomachs are hidden under baggy coats and filled in with swayed stances that overemphasize shame masked by spiteful confidence. Yellow, crooked teeth stay sealed behind smirks and smacked lips. Girls that could be beautiful if anyone bothered to tell them hide fear of commitment behind baby daddies and the time it takes to catch a bus headed for daycare. But what's surprising is when their guard goes down and you get a glimpse of the malice born of their loneliness. They hide the fact that no one loves them under stained sheets that lust doesn't care are dirty. And then they latch on to the infants who owe their existence to such episodes, and it makes me wonder how many generations have hidden girls like this.
Okay, judges. 8.5. 9. And a 9. Let's get a round of applause for Jacob. Next up tonight, T.M. Goddell.
Magpie, magpie, tented in the rectory, signaling across forbidden cities to a jealous god or two. The typewriter, loaded with ink and feathers, leaves green thumbprints across my black umbrella. And I carry a black umbrella, not because it's raining, but because of Homer's diamonds, parking lot glories, and the wilding red-blue orchids. Magpie, magpie, defining the blue tile walkways, and like a gorgon, nasally spilling the muted drool of haiku carpet factories. And I hang a dried lily from the rear view in place of a rosary. I keep 29 reliquaries between my left and right rib cages, and I have room for exactly one more. Magpie, magpie, perched in the infinite breathing tree, repenting of the ballroom dancing because someone sold him the fear of beginning for glass beads, polished rock, and the national anthem. Magpie remembers when life only cost 20 cents. Little sweet magpie, your brothers aren't coming. Little sweet magpie, your angels aren't coming. Little sweet magpie, the police are coming. They are coming for the soot-covered shamans. They are coming for the golden masks on the walls. They are careless with other people's things. Fold your tongue around your origami cigarettes. Mountain fold, valley fold, inside tuck, reverse, and wait. Magpie, magpie, builds a crown of his initials for the heron and the albatross and the pelican and all the little angry cloud owls to bow and pay him homage. And I ring bells of platitudes for the cave pigeons and the injured rabbits. They won't let go of their newspaper collages, and all of us have been marked because we heard the drums outside the windows. We like to yell. We like to yell. We like to yell! Because it makes us change. Parts of us are broken, and parts of us are saved.
We got poetry slam happening in here. You can come in. Love it when people just walk by, look in, and keep walking. No, come in, come in. All right, judges. 8.5. 9. And? A 9. Let's hear it for T.M. Gottle. Uh-oh. We currently have a tie for first, so we'll see where the scores line up at the end. We may have a poetry death match. Bum, bum, bum. Poetry death match. All right, our next competitor of the evening, February Love.
This poem is entitled Little Black Box. It goes, I am not African searching for my homeland because I was born in America. But I'm not even American because I'm told to go back where I come from. So I'm just a black man searching for who I am and where I belong because this little black box that I've been put in, trust and believe I won't stay there for long. Understand, this little black box was designed to eat the soul and make you lose control. Cry on the inside and die on the outside because from the lies you can't hide. The lies that are supposed to feed every man of a darker hue. Men and women who look like me and you. You know, the Africans, niggas, niggers, and coons, the ignorantly violent motherfuckers who fucked up society rioting about some civil rights when everybody knows that goes against all African stereotypes because everybody knows niggers can't read and write, right? But built strong to carry on the rigorous works of a hard day's labor, savoring unintelligent conversations and slaves to no rights and freedom of speech because what could a nigger preach besides the gospel of a hostile takeover? You see, it's these rules that have been used to chain to make us look like fools. I done messed that up. I'm done.
Well, even when a poet walks off the stage, we still score it. Judges? 8.5? 9, and a 6. All right, let's hear it for February Love. Our next competitor of the evening, Charles Lee.
I'm going to do this piece for my mother she's down to 30 days now. When I get to heaven. When I get to heaven, I won't care if the gates aren't made from pearls, or whether the streets are platinum, or whether those roads have actually been paved in gold. See, I just want to forget when life was hard and difficult to bear. And that day that I crossed over to the other side of the railroad tracks and the people there tried to take my life for doing that. See, no more racism or hatred or anything like that. A place where skin color doesn't matter. Hair can be long, short, nappy, or straight. A place where money is obsolete and a man can have a piece of land and raise himself a family. See, when I get to heaven, I won't care if it's sunshine every day, as long as the kids can come outside and have fun whenever they come out and play. And each child have a mother and father, a sister and a brother, a grandmother and grandfather to be there, and to just see a smile on each child's face. See, no more drugs to break a family's love. No more kids waiting on the steps in vain for a parent that life has trapped. See, when I get to heaven, I want everyone to be holding hands like Dr. King seen in that dream that he had. See, let heaven be a place where we can sing and shout and dance to the music and run all about. See, when I get to heaven, I just want to glorify the King and lift up his name forever and ever. Amen.
Yeah, I should just make it an official announcement too. The microphone is what feeds the Ustream broadcast, so and some poets tend to like to just vocalize and not use the mic. Unfortunately, because of that, you kind of need to keep the mic in front of you. Otherwise, our internet audience won't be able to hear you. So, all right, judges. 7.5. 9.5, and an 8. Let's hear it for Charles Lee. All right, we're coming down to the final 2 competitors of the night. Put your hands together for Ben Bartman.
This is called Authenticity versus Karaoke. Bathed naked in the stream passing, slipping by the current on the rock's slimy snot, feeling by your legs the fish's brush, along your breast the water between your legs, gentle hands into your senses slipping, plunging beneath the froth, opening eyes to blurred reality, tasting the wetness to die again and again, gulping for breath. Purpose slips into the drowning moment, passing downstream to find truth, teasing the black hole. Authenticity breeds hunger, mothers creativity, nurtures resourcefulness, creates reality. But desire ensures banality, and gratification breeds death. Hunger challenges us to seek sublime pleasures, but satiation soothes us and becomes illusory. Fearless failures attacking the common, raging against the evil of the mundane, deliver us from a banal death. Loving fearlessly gives us freedom to be. Without this struggle, death becomes our only option.
All right, judges. 8. 8. And a 9. Let's get another round of applause for Ben. now we come to the night's final competitor. And I should just throw out there that we still have a tie for first, and we also have a tie for third. And we also have a tie for fifth. No, it's tie, tie, tie. Yeah. Okay, well, and I have to do the math for Ben before that's probably no longer accurate. All right, our final competitor of the night. Put your hands together for a man called Blush.
This is called Macy, it's because. Macy, because she is an eerie shadow. She crawls and creeps into me right to the soul. Something so lovely has to be a thing of glory. It's just enough to make me a believer. I'm happy and sad again, another treasure that can't be mine. We see a pattern, don't we, in this bitter calamity. No, she wasn't in my class. Shoot, though, if she isn't like a blast from the past. Because, like you, she'll never love me like I did you then. I could be stubborn and persistent as I begin to walk along this bridge, but there are stepping boards broken and missing. Macy's standards are the empty spaces leading down to below. The footing of my heart only has room to fall, nowhere with her to be filled at all. The pressure leaves me to crawl. I guess I can begin to see why lovers can't be friends, especially if it's just the thought of it that overwhelms you like this. So all I have are fantasies to kiss, going to have to make do with thoughtful bliss. Honestly, that's quite plenty. It builds a lone boy into a man, gives him strong legs to stand upon. What's lost in a lover is gained in a beautiful friend, but the pain so tragic beats in my chest again. Macy, it's because that light so dim in the front corner of my mind burns with all the might of how much I wanted to need her. I know these words of my nightly daydream sound juvenile and elementary, but that's just what she does to me, breaking me down only to build me up again. Not even I can fully understand. Should I give up trying to fight this clutch when she sees right through my frailty, knowing I'm something of a misguided fuck-up? Could I have fixed myself earlier before I exposed everything that was disgusting, or is it silly to think so long after up to right now? Anger, wonder, and doubt furrows onto my brow, wishes heard by no one. Sometimes I hate myself for not being there to clear away her envy of not having something that feels all kinds of right, because I know what it means to be drawn up all wrong. Macy, it's because she's tried to point me in the right direction, and I'm never listening, always walking away with her being neglected. Either way, I'm not the one she wants, caught up in the constant trap of paying attention to the little head when the bigger head had all the right ideas to begin with instead. I won't break down and cry out, I love you, Macy. It's because all of this is nothing more than infatuation, but what could explain the imbalance of chemistry boiling right to the brim? Dang, if this love thing here ain't a trip, it's a kick. Perhaps I got reminded of it. Macy, it's because maybe, surely I know it's because of Macy.
Had you timed that before? No? Okay. Well, you came in at 2 minutes and 55 seconds. That's like the perfect slam time. I've gotten to watch the Cleveland Poetry Slam team practice over the last couple months, and yeah, they're all trying to get that perfect time, just under 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes. All right. Judges. 8. 7.5. And a 9. Get another round of applause for a man called Plush while I do some math. was an English major. Math is not my strong point. Okay, we have a conundrum here. We have a two-way tie for first and a three-way tie for third. Instead of a normal poetry death match like we usually do to resolve a tie due to the number of poets that we need to have compete again, we're going to make this a two-round slam. The 5 poets with scores in question here will compete in a second round, and their combined scores will be totaled for their score for the night to figure out who's first, second, and third. There is a calculator on my phone if I need it. All right. The following poets need to prepare for a second round. Jacob King, T.M. Goddell, Bridget Brockway, Charles Lee, and Ben Bartman. While you prepare another piece for another round, the same rules apply. We're going to do 3 minutes. Maybe I should institute a policy in the future for people to have a 1-minute piece ready, but that just doesn't seem sensible because we wouldn't normally have to do it. In the meanwhile, welcome to Citizen X, the First Friday Poetry Spectacular's new home. Citizen X is a nonprofit group. They run that nifty little BR Square youth-oriented news site, written by and published by and whatnot 15 to 25-year-olds. The goal is to get Canton's youth involved in the community. It's a nonprofit group, which means that they don't have any money. So if you would please like to make a donation, see Carla, or there's a box somewhere here that you can, throw a couple bucks in. Please, please, please. Yes, tax deductible. We do not have a feature scheduled for our next show here. I'm probably going to get someone. I don't quite know for sure yet. This show needs a sponsor. Hello, Internet. This show needs a sponsor. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and you get talked about during the show quite a bit. And your logo is on those nifty flyers that I hand everybody 40 times over the course of a month, all over Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Toledo every now and then, Elyria, Youngstown, Columbus. I try to get around. It's good exposure, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. You're probably spending more on your Google AdWords account. Really. The next Poets Haven show will be August 20th at Phoenix Coffee in South Euclid. That's Mayfield Road, just outside Cleveland Heights. We will have featured poets Kara Lee and Ben Bartman. We will also be releasing Ben Bartman's new chapbook. We need to send a huge thank you out to Arts in Stark, who provides the prize money for this poetry slam and has done so for many years. I can't think of 3.5, long before I took over the show. Big thank you to Arts in Stark for providing the prize money. And a big thank you to our audience for bearing the heat. I know there's no air conditioning here. There will be some remodeling happening here over the course of the next couple months. And of course, the temperature will be dropping once summer subsides. Yeah, it's Cleveland. If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Right? That's what they say. Well, we're Canton. We're an hour south, but we get the same effect. All right. Are our poets ready for the second round? I'm going to call y'all up. Y'all. Here comes my hillbilly roots. I'm going to call y'all up in the order that you originally competed. That's the easiest way for me to keep things straight in my slightly getting frazzled brain. So, our first competitor of the second round, Bridget.
I had no intention of reading this possibly ever, but there are 2 poems in this notebook, and I already read you one. It's called Suicide Poets. I'm not a suicide poet. I do not speak in blood drops spreading like smoke rings in bathwater. And I have never eyed the toe of my Doc Martens over the electrical wire between life and death. I can't hold up the scars like trophies. Look, Mom, look what I can do. Am I good enough? Do I win? My scars are only silver white shadows of spiderweb strands. You have to hold them in just the right light to see them. Yet they're all I have of gray afternoons, turning to jelly cold nights, skin peeling off plastic mattress in the dorm room, rocking and choking, too broken and desperate to even cry. The chilly, slithering dawn heralding another night I'd survived too chicken shit to pull the trigger. Walking to glass, thrift store jeans, abrading X-Acto roadmaps on my legs, comfort hanging from my collarbones, the bleeding proof that I could still feel something other than nothing. I've never been a suicide poet, and the cynical, bipolar, chain-smoking, fully clothed in icy bathwater and praying to an absent God for the stones to take the leap. Doubts any child vomiting last words into a microphone has scars inside as deep as hers. Look, y'all, look what I can do. Am I good enough? Do I win?
It's getting to be confusing when the mic stand starts to taunt me. All right, judges. 9. Yeah. 9. 8.5. We got four more competitors. Oh. All right. Jacob.
Okay, so the new title of this poem is Stepmother. Lori wore floppy hats, which my siblings and I hated as a way to feel better about hating her. Because you're not really allowed to hate someone when polite people whisper in the kitchen that she's just a little special. Still, she's not as foolish as my father would like her to be. He met her in a ballroom class, one of the activities that helped him forget. He promised that he would continue to dance with her even after he no longer needed to forget. And before they got married, he started to change. He was wearing neckties and even bought a gentleman's brimmed hat. He kept his dancing shoes carefully tucked in the back seat, wrapped in a microfiber satchel stretched around cedar shoe forms. Shoes are probably still there, preserved perfectly, but now from lack of use. During family functions, their clumsy, old-fashioned dancing, the labored counting and recounting of steps used to be embarrassing back when I still hated Lori's floppy hats. Now, when we all get together, I'd rather sit with her, because she's the one who actually asks how I'm doing, while my father's too busy recounting and forgetting to ask her to dance.
Judges? 8. 8.5. 8.5. Let's hear it for Jacob. Next competitor, T.M. Gottel.
I am homeless. Homeless within the purple parties, the dotted lines between the Democrublicans, the right-wingers flying counterclockwise call me hippie, and the ones flying clockwise call me what? Picking at the indecipherable demarcation of God, man, and love, I am crazier than you know. I am blocking out big chunky sections of life, sliced and neatly fit into cardboard boxes, church in one box, money in another, red, blue, purple, green, orange, politics in another. Scratch that. Red in one, blue in another. Otherwise, they're going to fight. Shoes over here, sweaters over there, the jewelry that I've never worn. I'll keep that box right here. I am not ready for this. I am never going to be ready. I am wandering home at 2 a.m. with my feet still 15 miles behind, and the clock says that the 6:15 alarm rings earlier than you think. I am tired. I am the fusion of everything I do not know or understand. I'm not hip-hop enough for the streets, and I don't have enough letters after my name for the scholars, and I'm worried that even I don't understand what it is that I do. I am woman, I am poet, I am fluid, I am light. I am trying to hold in my synapses, firing like gospel music and cracking lead-based paint across the side of a conversion van, blaring teddy bear anthems in 7 different pieces refracted and sanded down, now crushed between the floorboards and twisted around that 2 a.m. steering wheel, trying to take me somewhere other than home, to home. I am looking for a place without anyone yelling from the back to get off my stage. I am watching paisley flowers drip and stain a girl's right shoulder, and I see faces consulting dictionaries, reading the code and book, translating the call of the blackbird of Revelation. I am rolling red drops of night in my mouth, deep and liquid, peeling across my tongue, peeling like the church bells, hammer at the ready, and the ironsmith with a laugh and a smile on his face. I am wolf and lion, tiger, dove. I am human. I am love. I am still seeking my truth. I am alive. Thank you.
Okay, judges. Nine. 9.5. 8.5. Another round of applause for Teresa. Okay. Just for the record, currently Bridget and Jacob are tied with 51.5 points. And I'll do the math in a second for Teresa, but that right now Teresa's in the lead, but we still have Charles and Ben Bartman. Charles Lee.
Wow. To be young, gifted, and black. That's the name of this poem. To be young, gifted, and black is a scary combination. Young enough to believe in life and that change is inevitable. To think that you can and will bring life together. And to ensure that everyone's soul is held in the arms of equality. The energy to leap over mountains and hurdles in a single bound and to run the race of life for those of us that are misfortunate than others. However, when I look at all the young black faces, I can see all their young gifts just looking, just staring, just waiting to get loose, with their hair so wild and kinky, made to act like antennas to tune and elevate both their mind and their thinking. And with their eyes so big and bold as they see past one's faults and into one's future. That future that is circling around you where the moon and stars are no longer inconceivable. And yes, that wonderful mind that won't take no for an answer. And let's not forget about those words that you sing that make us laugh and cry and dance to the sweet sound of its music. See, to be young, gifted, and black is where life is at. I wish I could. I wish that I could turn the clock of life back one more time just for one more season. Because to be young, gifted, and black is to live and wish to live forever.
All right, judges. 7.5. A 9. And an 8. Yeah, that's. I've seen. So I've heard cell phones go off in the audience many times. It's the first time I've seen a performing poet have their cell phone go off. I take that back. I did once see a poet's phone go off, but they were the feature and they were up there for a half hour. So, okay. Last poet of round 2. I'm hoping we don't have to do a round 3, but Ben Bartman.
One long toke. I took one long toke and landed in the Stone Sticky Fingers album. The vinyl spiral carried me to the core, and I got hungry. The food remembered I needed razor blades, and the razor blades told me to get more toilet paper, and the toilet paper remembered to get more more Pepsi, and so on. And so I spent $35 and came home with a large bag of chips. Then I flipped the stones over and hopped on the train again to ride the spiral railway to the core. I stepped outside the house, the door behind me closed, and I felt a finality of separation that arrives after the bus leaves before you get to the stop. I was alone, but I remember that the Arrhenius equation might suggest the order in the Savalas' transition state if the rates are measured at different temperatures, and this should be different for orthosubstituted phenethyl chlorides, and the headlights on my Vespa motor scooter needed to be replaced. Did I have enough condoms for the weekend, or should I just go to sleep? And where did I put that bag of chips? I sure hope no one can tell I'm actually meditating while I'm walking. What if my professor sees me? A 55-year-old chain smoker, better known for his chemistry and cello playing, just might be walking down the street lined with student stuff housing at 1 a.m. in the morning. It just might happen, you know. A couple walks by and says hi, to which I reply, I think so.
Ben, I know you probably will, but make sure you do that one on the 20th. All right, judges. Eight five, 8.5, and 8.5. Like I said, math is not my strong point. 28 times 3 is 24. 25.5. Okay, we have a tie for second. We got time for 2 more poets? Split it. All right, we're going to call it a tie for second. Tied for second, we have Bridget Brockway and Jacob King. And August's Canton First Friday Poetry Slam champion is T.M. Goddell. Again, thank you everyone for bearing the heat. We'll get some better fanage in here for the next show. Fanage, hey, that I think I just made a word. Coinage. Except I've heard that used quite a few times, so it's. Oh, okay, different. Okay. I've heard coinage as referring to change, as in money change. All right. Again, we'll see you all here next month. Poetshaven.com, brsq.org, BR Square, Citizen X. Please donate money. There is a donate link on the website. You can make PayPal donations, and they will mail you a nifty form for your tax deduction. Tax deductions are good. Wait, I'm supposed to be the raving liberal that wants to raise taxes. When did I start saying tax deductions are good? Oh yeah, lack of money. That okay.